Welcome to the Netherlands, a land shaped by water. Here, winding rivers like the Rhine and Maas flow through vibrant wetlands, places where the water meets land in a delicate dance. These wetlands are more than just beautiful landscapes, they are powerful natural allies in our fight against climate change. From river floodplains to ancient peat bogs, and from sprawling deltas to seagrass meadows beneath the waves, each wetland type plays a unique role in capturing and storing carbon, and with that they help to keep our planet cool. So, what are wetlands? Simply put, wetlands are areas where water saturates the soil, sometimes all year round, sometimes seasonally, creating conditions that support special plants, adapted animals, and cool fungi. Wetlands come in many forms. Rivers and floodplains, where seasonal floods nourish the land. Peatlands, where water makes sure layers and layers of organic matter fill up. Or coastal wetlands, like salt marshes and seagrass meadows, where fresh water meets the sea. These ecosystems are incredibly productive and diverse, providing habitat for countless species and essential services for humans, such as filtering water, buffering floods, and last but not least, storing carbon. But before we dive in deeper, it is important to understand the problem we are dealing with here on our beautiful blue planet. You have probably heard of it before: climate change. Climate change is the long-term shift in our planet's weather patterns. Normally, it is the natural process of carbon being released into the air and sequestered, which results in the rising and lowering of the temperature. On its own, not necessarily bad. It makes sure species develop, species go extinct, new species come up, and 5 Ice Age movies. However, today it's not just natural forces driving climate change. When we burn fossil fuels like coal, oil and gas, we release greenhouse gases into the air. These gases trap heat from the sun, kind of like a blanket around the Earth. This accelerates the warming of the planet, which might sound nice for your holidays, which it partially is, but for the rest of the planet it is less nice. It's causing glaciers to melt, seas to rise, and weather to go wild. Storms are getting stronger, droughts are lasting longer, wildfires are burning brighter. It's affecting animals, ecosystems, and people everywhere. Wetlands are at the heart of the climate change story, both as vulnerable ecosystems, but also as powerful allies. You remember the greenhouse gases from before? Our wetlands store an astonishing 20% of the planet's organic carbon, despite covering approximately 1% of the Earth's surface. This remarkable efficiency means that, per square meter, wetlands sequester far more carbon than most forests or marine ecosystems. Yet, the relationship between climate change and our wetlands is a bit more complex. Healthy, happy, cool wetlands act as carbon sinks, locking away carbon in waterlogged soils and sediments for thousands of years. However, when wetlands are drained, degraded or burned, which we often do for agriculture or development, they release all the carbon, therefore shifting from carbon sinks to carbon outlets. By releasing the centuries of stored carbon back in the air, they make the problem only bigger and bigger. The emissions from degraded peatlands alone are estimated to account for over 10% of annual fossil fuel emissions worldwide. Climate change itself poses a direct threat to wetlands as well. Rising temperatures and changing rainfall patterns are already causing many wetlands to shrink or dry out, especially in regions where evaporation now outpaces precipitation. This loss is happening at an alarming rate. Since 1970, the world has lost 35% of its wetlands, a rate even faster than deforestation. As wetlands disappear or degrade, their ability to store carbon is also diminished, and more greenhouse gases are emitted, resulting in a dangerous feedback loop that accelerates global warming. Protecting and restoring wetlands is therefore a critical, nature-based solution for both mitigating and adapting to climate change. Restoration not only helps re-establish wetlands as carbon sinks, but also enhances their abilities to buffer floods, filter water, and enhance their beautiful biodiversity. This dual role makes wetlands conservation one of the most important and one of the most effective responses to the climate crisis. In the upcoming videos, we will explain the benefits and threats of multiple different wetlands. Wetlands are amazing, and there is much more to discover about them. Come with us on this fascinating journey to the wetlands against climate change.